Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to a Moss Gets Athletic video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk on the whole situation with Floyd Mayweather versus Logan Paul. Um, it's something that I would pay money to see, hands down. I definitely would, because I'm a fan of Logan Paul. I'm like somewhat of a fan of like Floyd Mayweather. I feel like if it comes down to it, because I'm like, if it's somebody that I don't really care for, like for an example, that last fight, like there was that last fight where he went up against some guy. I don't know who it was, but it was an exhibition fight, demolished that dude. And I was just like, of course, like I'm all like, all right, yeah, Floyd Mayweather. But it was with him and Conor McGregor. I'm all like, I was more so, I'm like, yo, if Floyd wins, I wouldn't trip about it. But if Conor wins, I'm like, this is a big, like, thing for him, because he stepped into a boxing ring. He came from an octagon into a boxing ring and beat this man. So I'm like, I would be for it if Conor McGregor would have won. I was definitely with it if Manny Pacquiao would have won. And people was like calling me a Floyd Mayweather hater. I'm like, look, I don't hate on him, but it's just something about when a person's on an undefeated streak. I think everybody has that in them where you hope that they're okay, but if they lose, you're gonna be like, dang. It finally, like, I feel like a bit of everybody, they want that. They want Floyd to lose. But if he wins, I'm like, hey, I'm with that too. Like, more power to him. Like, it's always good to be a winner. So I'm like, but I think I'm not like saying I am a hater, but it's kind of like a jokingly hate thing. Like, I'm like, yeah, if he lose, I'm like, yeah, good, go. But I'm like, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just like, hey, this man's making his money. He's supporting his family. That's all that matters. At the end of the day, that's the only thing that matters. But with this particular fight, because I know people would be like, okay, I'm a YouTuber, so of course I'm going to be on Logan Paul's side. I don't know. A part of me, it's like, and it's not that I'm a Logan Paul. I'm not hating on anybody in this situation, whether it's Logan Paul or Floyd Mayweather. But if I had to choose who will win in a boxing match between the two, I'm probably going to have to say Floyd Mayweather. Now, granted, Logan Paul got some power behind him. He is a powerhouse, hands down, for sure. And he would have to lose weight. He would have to be in the same weight class as Floyd. But I still feel like that he has power. Now, maybe him losing weight, it might, slow him down a little bit, or it might, like, not make him weak. But it's just he ain't going to have that same strength he had when he was in a much more higher weight class. But at the same time, I still think he got some power. So Floyd will feel it. He will feel that, hands down, for sure. But at the same time, we got to remember who we're talking about. Floyd Mayweather Jr., the best defensive boxer of all time. He is going to tie, just like with that Conor McGregor fight, because I know everybody's just all like, oh, Logan Paul's a wrestler, he's this, he's that. Same with Conor McGregor. He might not have, like, his specialty might have not been wrestling, but he came from like that family of like UFC where they are going to be doing a lot of like grappling and wrestling and all of that stuff. So he beat that man, exhausted him, tired him out. And I think that would be the same outcome for the Conor McGregor Floyd Mayweather fight will be the same outcome for this Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight. So I'm like, Logan Paul, he's going to probably get some hits in. Floyd's going to be like, okay, I'm going to have to like get very, very defensive on this guy. So I'm like, don't go in there cocky and be like, okay, another easy W and things. I don't think Floyd, that's one thing that I have to say about Floyd is that he might, like, people might think like, oh, he's being cocky, he see this as an easy fight, but I feel like either the day of or the week of or the month of, whenever, he's being serious. And he's like, I gotta see, even though this could be like a little like kid fight and things, I gotta see this as the biggest fight of my life. Same with Logan Paul. Logan Paul's gonna have to see this. So it's like, Logan, you're going to have to bring everything. If this fight does happen, you're going to have to bring everything that you had on the table in the first KSI fight and the last KSI fight. But you were going to have to go in 10 times harder. You cannot go in sloppy or fail, because this is somebody that's been doing this for 50 fights. Now, you might tweet at 50-1 thinking like, oh, okay, there's like a boost of confidence. That don't mean nothing. Tweets, them podium, when they be up on the podium like arguing with each other, none of that ain't gonna mean nothing. Once you guys get into the ring, that's like when them bells go off, that's the only thing that matters. From that first bell all the way to that last bell, the only time frame of what matters. Now I'm like, look, whatever y'all say or do outside, I'm like, that don't mean nothing. That does not. That's one thing that I think I would do if I was a professional boxer. I'm like, look, Whatever this person wants to say online, whatever this person wants to, that's okay. Say that. Do what you want to do. But when it comes time to get in the boxing ring, that's where it really matters. People ain't there for my words. People ain't there for, I guess if they want, like, you know, to see me say a few things, I'm going to say a few things, but I ain't going to get all, like, dug into it. I'm like, you can say whatever you want about my family, about my friends, about my life, about whatever. When it comes time, I see this as, my thing is, like, I see this boxing fight is that I have everything to lose on the table, but at the same time, I got nothing to lose. So I'm like, I'm going in this with the most angry, it's like the angriest, whatever. I'm going in there with just mad aggression, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let up on you. And I'm all like, I will be offensive. I would do whatever. Because I'm like, I think, yeah, if I was, I would be like a very, very strategic boxer. So I'm like, I should. But I'm like, that's the thing, though. Injuries and all that, I'm not with that. I'm like, can we play like Fight Night, like Champions or something like that, and we just call it a day? Because I'm like, yo, that's for me at least. I'm like, but I think if boxing was like the profession I wanted to get into, then yeah, I would be a very, very strategic boxer. But yeah, at the same time, I'm like, I ain't gonna be that person where I'm all like, oh, I gotta say this, I gotta talk, you know, say all these. I'm like, I don't care about all of that. I don't care about the talking part. I'm like, I'm all about the action. I'm like, that's where I'm here for. You know, I'm here for the boxing. Nobody ain't gonna care about what we saying up on stage and all of that. I'm like, I could say whatever, I could do whatever and make you all upset and things. Who's gonna care? I'm like, the energy that you have, that's the energy that I want you to have in the boxing fight. So if there is ever a time where I do get into a boxing fight with anybody, look, we boxing. If we could be cool, we could be cool. But if, like, you know, if we like if we're not, then I'm gonna like, whatever you gotta say, save it. I don't care. Let's just say what we gotta do in the ring. That's all that I care about. So anyways, yeah, I'll be a very quiet boxer. I'll wear black Air Forces too, but nah, but I think I do see high hopes in the Floyd Mayweather and Logan Paul fight. That's definitely something that I would like to see. Cause I feel like that's definitely like my family, you know, when, cause I've always told them about like boxing, cause I'm like, no, I had to admit, Logan Paul, for him to like be, you know, the social media influencer since the Vine days, and then out of nowhere just cause he's already had like a fighting, like, you know, backstory and stuff. So, but to like, I feel like that this would be able to like prove to my family, like, hey, this is why I watch these guys, because, you know, they got more to it than to just be recording videos and stuff. So that's one thing that I would have to say to Floyd Mayweather is that, look, you might think that, oh, this is just some like social media kid, this is just some YouTuber, he's only a camera guy, you know, he ain't nothing. I'm like, no, this man, when it was that Logan Paul versus KSI, that first fight, this man, okay, brought millions of people to watch this fight all across the world. All across the world. Because you gotta think about it. You might think like, oh, okay, you see that they got like 1 million views on one of their videos. Okay, cool, fine. Like I bring that in when I'm at like talking as if I was like, you know, Floyd or something. He's like, okay, I bring in that type of money, I bring in that type of people. There's people watching me all across the world. That's the same with Logan Paul. Every time when he uploads a video, the same amount of people that's watching your fight, that's what they're doing with him when they're watching one of his videos. So it's like this man is bringing in the same type of hype that you are to a fight, because he already has like a whole fan base and all of that stuff. This ain't just some random nobody. This is a somebody. And then on top of that, for him to go from making YouTube videos, Vine videos, Instagram videos, all these different types of videos, to train to be a boxer. And then even with this last fight, I had to admit, in this last fight that he had with KSI, that was pretty good from Logan Paul. That was really good. And probably Floyd, you know, with his experience, that's why I'm like, Floyd is definitely going to win this, because he has more experience when it comes to boxing. I'm like, Logan, you're like, yeah, you're one, because like one draw, one loss. So I'm like, I feel like that might play like a mind game on him. And he's like, okay, I have to win this. But at the same time, it's like, you know, he has nothing to lose. Like I said, it's like, you know, it's one of those things where it's like he has to, like, you know, he got something to lose. But at the same time, he has nothing to lose, if that makes sense to y'all. But anyways, but yeah, you know, what was I saying? I was saying something. I was making a good point too. I was like, felt like I was just on fire. And then you just mess up. And then all of a sudden, it's all gone. But anyways, but no, I do think that this will be a good fight if it does happen. But I don't want this to be one of those, oh, let's just talk about it, bring some hype and stuff towards our name and then nothing happens. Like, no, this boxing fight better happen. Like, y'all done got everybody's hopes all high for nothing. Nah, this fight better happen. So, but anyways, let me know what you guys think about it. Do you think this is a fight that you want to see? Or do you think this is a fight where it's all like, look, just save it for Fight Night Champions. Like, we don't need to see y'all in no boxing ring. So, but and I know people will probably think like, oh, it's an age, like it'll be an age thing. Cause Floyd, he is not that old. Like I know people think like, oh, he's old, like he's 40-some years old. Look at hold on for a second. He's 43. How old is Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves. Cause I'm making a point here. Keanu Reeves is almost 60 years old, and he's doing these John Wick movies like it's nothing. So I'm saying, like, don't judge an age thinking, like, oh, he old, so it's like, oh, it ain't gonna matter. Logan Paul's like 24, 25 or something like that. 25. So, yeah, it's like, you might think, like, oh, it's an age thing. Like, it don't matter. I think even that one person, let's see who's that one guy that fought Floyd last in that exhibition fight. I gotta see real quick, because there's, like, he's like posted. I thought he posted something about Logan Paul. There's all like somebody said if Logan Paul manages to get a fight against Floyd Mayweather, then we as well just close social media because he's completed it. No, I don't know. I wouldn't say all that, but anyways, pay-per-view bouts. What is it about this exhibition fight? So they just not even going to count that exit. Oh, here we go. Oh, there's the Conor McGregor. What about the exhibition fight? Because I don't think that guy was old too. They really just don't have that exhibition. Okay, let's just make this. I was on Wikipedia. Last fight. Conor McGregor. No. Oh, here we go. Tensei Nasuka. What? That man. I'm like, bro, you need to chill on the name, bro. He like stood side by side with him I'm like, bro, and then lost. 22 years old, bro. It's wow. That man, 22 years old. And how is he in boxing? Let's see what his boxing record is. Mixed martial arts. Kickboxing. He's 39-0 in kickboxing. And amateur kickboxing, dang, 105 wins and only 5 losses. This is the same guy Floyd Mayweather beat. Oh my God, bro. Oh yeah, Logan Paul, you're done. You are done. There's no way possible, because you're like this guy. I would love to see him and this guy go up against each other. I feel like that would be a good fight too. Oh, he's a YouTuber. He got 470,000. That's good. He doing something with his life. But yeah. Boxing record. What is his boxing record? Yeah, I'm like this man though. 3 bouts. Oh, he's won. Oh, that's kickboxing. Why they say boxing? I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. But yeah, all right, Logan Paul. I'm like, that's you. I'm sorry, but I'm like, I shouldn't lose. Who knows? But that's the thing, though. Like, you might lose. Like, you are like, oh yeah, Logan Paul gonna win. He gonna lose. There ain't no way possible he gonna win this. It's Floyd Mayweather that we're talking about. But what if he surprises us? That's the thing that a lot of people just, they seem to forget or not think of up until like it happens. But what if he surprises us? What if it's one of those things where it's like we don't even expect it? Next thing you know, we just see Floyd just falling down, just knocked out. The fact that he was to knock him out, I would be like, at the TV, like, honestly, I would probably use the bathroom on myself. Like, now thinking about it, I'm like, dang, I would probably use the bathroom on myself if something like that were to happen. Because I'd be like, I can't move. I've lost all, like, lower bodily functions. If Logan Paul manages to knock out Floyd Mayweather, I'm losing all bodily functions. I'm going to be knocked out. As soon as I see Floyd doing that, I'm going to be sitting on my, like, couch and then just fall all out, because I'm like, that ain't normal. But anyways, no, let's see what happens. Hopefully it does happen. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, stay tuned for some more videos, and peace.